What's up, y'all? And welcome back to AAB TV. I am your girl, Audrey B. And my channel is also known as Authentically Audrey B TV. And we are back to review my favorite show, your favorite show, America's favorite show, Abbott Elementary. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So I am not in the studio today, but nevertheless, we are going to recap the show. This show is going to be the last show for the next couple of weeks because we are going on winter break. Our favorite show will be gone again for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm a little sad about it, but 'tis the season, right? So this episode was actually centered around winter break. So it's the last day of school at Abbott before winter break. Everybody is excited about it. Everybody is ready to enjoy the last few hours of school with just some, you know how teachers do, little chill day, little easy day, couple of fun crafts, watching some movies, eating some snacks, all of that, as well as the annual winter show that they put on for the students and their parents and the staff. Well, Jacob is over the winter show this time, and he has all of these ideas. He's extremely excited about it, so he's constantly talking to Gregory about it, and Greg is like, okay, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. And anytime that Jacob has an idea, says an idea, or shows him what he's doing, even while he's setting up, Greg can clearly just be seen like not agreeing or not liking what he sees. Like at one point he was saying he felt like he was inside of a Crown Royal bag because the entire gymnasium was just decked out in the color purple, which was Jacob's theme. And he was like, the movie? And Jacob's like, no, like the actual color purple. And to me, it was very pretty once everything got set up. But we'll talk about that later. So it is also Janine's 30th birthday. So she gets to school, and Barb is the first one to see her. And she's probably expecting nobody to realize that it's her birthday, but Barb does. Remember in the beginning, like Barb was established as like her work mom because, as you all know, Janine and her sister aren't really close, and their mother was their dynamic with their mother is very different. They're not close either, but here and there they've tried to like get together, see one another, and it just always kind of goes left. And shout out to Taraji because she plays Janine's mom. So she was on the episode last night, and it was so good to see her. And her mom is off the chain, to say the least. So Barb sees her, tells her happy birthday, asks her plans, and she let her know that her mom will be visiting because she's going to go to dinner with her and Greg at the end of the day, but she's going to stay and visit with her in her class and be at the winter show. And Barb was kind of like, okay. Like she was kind of taken aback a little bit, but like I said, because she is protective of Janine in her heart, I could say that. So she was like, oh, okay, just kind of like wanting to see, how it was going to go. Because like I said, Janine's mom is a hot mess. So Janine finally says that her mom is on the way. Her mom meets them in the teacher's lounge, and Janine has to run out, but she is telling them to catch up, say hi to each other, have the little small talk. So they do that, and Barb and her, they don't like go at it, but again, Barb is very protective of Janine, and she knows how Janine's mom is. And Janine's mom is like, well, I'm here. I'm her mom. I'm going to do and I'm going to say whatever I want to say. Like, girl, back up. That's their little relationship. And so Barb just lets her go on and visit with Janine. On the other hand, what is happening in the building since the beginning of the episode has been the heater. Everything it's cold on the third floor. The guys is there to fix it from the district. They took forever to come and fix it. Now it's like this big, huge problem, and he lets them know like they need to shut the school down for the day. But they're like, absolutely not. Like, we're gonna stay here. Like, do you know who we are? Like, this is Abbott. Like, we're gonna stay here. We're not going anywhere. It's the last day. Like, we got the winter show. No, we're just gonna move people down from the third floor, and add more kids and teachers to the classrooms. Everybody just huddle up, keep warm. It is what it is. So the district person was just kind of like, okay, do what y'all do. But I'm telling y'all, whole time Mr. Johnson was telling them also, like, no, y'all need to listen to him. Like, it's gonna be bad if we continue to run the furnace, if we continue to like keep it going, like it's gonna be bad. And they were just like, look, we're not worried. Let's get through the rest of the day. Again, let's make it an easy day. Not too much going on. Get through to the end of the day and we'll be good. We got stuff to do. We're going on break. I'm ready to drink. I'm ready to soak in the tub. Like, it was, their plan. So Ava is just like, this is what we're going to do. And she shot out her plan. Everybody did what they needed to do. So the day just kind of went by until it couldn't go on anymore. So Janine's mom is, being Janine's mom. She's loud. She's like real, just, I don't want to say ghetto because I don't like saying that. She's just her, but she's also very like bougie at the same time, but she's also hood, and she's like very street smart. Like, she's always, just got an answer for everything. So she's talking to Janine because she's catching up with her daughter, but she's also like wanting to know the things that she's been doing. And so Janine is excited. She wants to have like a close-knit relationship with her mom. Like, who wouldn't want that? And so her mom, every time it just seemed like every time Janine was talking, like her mom would like push her down. Like, she would just be like, oh girl, you don't need to do that. I didn't do it. Oh girl, you don't need no man, or like that type of person. Like, every time that Janine would talk about her dreams or her goals, her mom always had some type of like rebuttal to bring her back down to earth, I guess, because she felt like, oh, this is my daughter. She's seen my experiences in life, and I know how it goes. So it's not going to work for you. So girl, you need to stop dreaming, basically. And at one point, Janine was kind of like taken aback by it, but she kind of like just was like, oh, okay, like agreed with it. Like, oh, maybe you're right. Because again, she wants this close-knit relationship with her mom, and she's just like wanting to like make her feel like she was taking her advice, I guess, like to please her mom or like appease her. And as they're having a conversation again, just like that, Barb is walking past, and she's like eavesdropping, and she's hearing this. And so the next time that she sees Jean's mom in the hallway, she lets her know like, hey, I heard what you were telling her, and to me, honey, it seems like you're jealous. And I was thinking the same thing. Like, a lot of people project their fears onto their daughters, their sons, whatever, their close family, their friends, whatever, because it didn't work for them, or they were too afraid to do it. And when they see somebody like coming from the same place that they come from, and they're like dreaming big or like have all these goals, they always feel like, oh no, because that's not going to work because it didn't work for me. And I feel like Janine's mom was doing that exact thing, like I said. And Barb was just like, hey, I think you should realize that Janine is doing the dang on thing, and she's happy. And so she kind of checked her mama a little bit, and her mama kind of like backed up and got it. Well, at least I thought she did. And she ended up seeing Janine, gave her her card or whatever. They talked, and she was just saying, like, she wished that, she made a comment that she wished that there was a fashion club back when Janine was in school. And Janine, because she already knows who her mama is, automatically thought her mom was going to try to take a dig at her. So she was like, why? So I could dress better? And her mom was like, no, because I feel like you would have liked it. And she was like, oh. And so at that point, that's when I thought, I don't know about y'all, but that's when I thought like, oh, her mom understood where Bob was coming from, and she's going to try to, be different, right? Did it work? Absolutely not. So while all of that's going on with Janine and her mom, Ava, Mr. Johnson, and Melissa, they're all teaming up, just talking and having conversations about what's going on with this furnace. They keep hearing this rumbling. They keep on hearing all these noises, and they're just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? So they're all in the teacher's lounge, and at one point, smoke and all this stuff was coming out of the vent at the top on the wall. And so they was like, oh my gosh. So again, Ava comes up with a plan. Everybody move down to the first floor. Everybody huddle up. You know, we don't know what's going to happen, but we're still not going to shut the school down. We're still going to go on with the winter show. Like, let's just all band together. And that's exactly what everybody did. So around this time, everybody's is like closer to the end of the day. And people are starting to come into the classrooms. Parents are starting to arrive. And Jacob is finishing setting up in the gym. And Greg comes in, and again, Greg said he didn't care about it. He didn't want anything to do with it. He didn't want to help, but he's still commenting and critiquing every little thing that Jacob did. And Jacob is just like, what do you got to say about this? What do you got to say about this? Well, at least can you help me move this over here? Can you help me move this over here? What did he call it, y'all? The LGB tree? I said, sir, the LGB tree. Then he had a tree that was made of wood. And like Greg said, trees are already wood. So, you know, Jacob, he's different. He was giving away grapes at the end. Like, who gives away grapes? He also didn't use the stage, which, you know, Greg was just like, why you don't want to use the stage? Like, why do you want to have the stage on the floor in a circle? Like, what are you doing? And at the end of the day, again, like, if you're not going to help, quit talking to me. I wish Jacob would have said that. Sir, if you're not going to help, quit talking to me. If you don't want nothing to do with it, quit talking to me or whatever. So he kept on, but also Jacob kept, you know, saying things and just to see if Greg would give him any input. Because towards the end, he let him know, like, I want your opinion because I value what you have to say and what you have to say to me. I just wish that you wouldn't, like, try to make me feel bad behind it. Like, just tell me what some things that I could do, because again, like I said, we're friends. I could take your criticism, but it's just like it's a dig on top of the criticism that I don't like. But I was proud of him for saying that. And so again, all the rumbling, the shaking, all this stuff is going on in the school. People's like, okay, what is that? But then people are ignoring it. So Mr. Johnson takes it upon himself to go and get an axe and starts hitting the wall wherever this furnace is, sees that it's like all wet and I guess it was ice. I don't know what it was, y'all, but he's just like, oh Lord. He calls somebody and he's like, we gonna have a problem over at Abbott. So I'm like, what's going to happen? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to be a fire. Like, oh, they're going to burn Abbott down. Like, no more Abbott. Like, what is happening? So in the midst of the winter show beginning, everybody starts to come in. People's loving the color purple. Everybody's like, okay. So they sit down in a circle. And the show begins. And this little boy, he's singing a song. And then all of a sudden, this what looks like snow starts to fall down. And I was like, okay, Jacob, like you done did it up with this little winter performance. Come to find out, y'all, it was dust. I was not the only one that thought it was snow. Everybody on the show thought it was snow. And Mr. Johnson was in there with an umbrella and a jacket on. They were like, what are you doing? He was like, it's about to get real cold and wet in here. And they was looking at him like, what are you even talking about? Because again, they were warned in the beginning, like, if y'all continue to stay here, the furnace is on its last leg and it's not going to be nice. But they were just like, we're going to get through the day and we're out of here. We ain't going to worry about it. They can fix it over the break and we'll be good to go. And so all of a sudden, the little boy is saying it, and then boom, just water just is everywhere. Everybody runs out. Everybody's trying to take cover. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And Mr. Johnson was like, see, I told you. If you would have listened to me, none of this would have happened. So because of this, the guy that came from the district, he comes back and has to fix everything. But before he tells them all the things that needs to be done, Janine has another encounter with her mother, who is still there. Like I said, for a little short second, I thought that their relationship was gonna be on the mend because, she stayed all day at the school. She was gonna go out to dinner with them. She realized like Janine is happy. Even though when she met Greg, she was giving him like the runaround. She was, who are you? Like checking him basically. Again, just doing the most. And Greg was like, but Janine was just like, hey, you guys. She came back over there in the midst of their conversation. It was like, I'm so glad you like him. And she's just like, he ain't nothing like Tariq, but it is what it is. And I'm like, ma'am, really? Again, her mama thinks she knows everything. So, again, once all that happened at the winter concert and they're packing up, they're leaving, Janine is in the room with her mom. They're having a conversation. And she's just like, I'm 30 years old. I'm thinking about, buying a house and, possibly getting married one day. And, they were talking about Greg and, just certain things that as she's older and getting more mature that she would like to think about or that she is thinking about and would like to have in the future. Because she had talked to her mom about saving for a house, and that's the conversation that Barb heard her and her mom having, and her mom like shot that down, right? And so, because she's like, girl, I ain't never had no house, girl, what you need a house for? Like that type of stuff. So she's talking about this marriage thing. She's like, girl, I ain't never been married. Like, you and your sister saw the men that I had, and I used to have men like throwing themselves at me, but honey, no. She was like, and the type of person Greg is, I hope he knows you. And she was like, what do you mean? Like, he does know me. Like, that's my man. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, why is her mama doing her like this? But again, she sounded kind of like a hater. And she was just like, you annoying. And Janine was like, I mean, yeah, I get a little extra behind things, but I'm pretty cool, And her mom was like, so if you plan on marrying Greg, I hope you don't show him that side or he's prepared for that. She needs to watch that. Like, she needs to watch it. Like, girl, ain't gonna man gonna want you. You know how those people talk, or whatever. Like, y'all done heard people say that before. And so Janine was just like looking forward to going out with her mom, but she was like, you know what, mom, it's been a long day. I think you should skip dinner tonight. And I'm just like, come on, girl, stand up for yourself. Like, I love that. And she was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this for the rest of the evening. Like, she was like, I think you should go ahead and go. And her mom was like, what? She was like, I done stayed here all day, but it should have wasted my time. And then storms out, and you could tell how Janine was hurt. She was disappointed. She kept the money, though, but she threw away the card. And she was just kind of like, ugh, like, every time she didn't say this, but you could tell like how, how people think, like, every time I try with this person or with these people, like, they always end up showing that they're not changed at all. So it's just like, what's the point? And so that was how she felt. And I was proud of her for, saying like, no, I'm not just going to deal with like you talking crazy to me or about me. And I'm just going to take it. And so, as her and Greg were leaving, he was like, so where's your mom? And she's just like, she's not coming. And he was like, what happened? She's like, I'll tell you over dinner. But then Barb comes walking out and she's like, do you have any plans, Barb? And she's like, no. She's like, you want to come? She's like, I would love to. And I'm just like, that showed, again, her love for Barb, Barb's love for her, Barb's understanding of where Janine came from without Janine even letting her know why her mom still wasn't at the school, like why her mom left. And I feel like everybody needs that type of person, like a mother figure or a father figure who you can trust and who really knows you, who you can just be open and vulnerable with. And I think that's what Barb is to Janine for sure. Like, that is her mom. If you know what I'm saying, that's the person she can sit and talk to, who will give her the real but love on her. And like, her real actual mom, she's just too much. She's just too much. And Janine is again turning 30. She is trying to be better. She's wanting more. And sometimes you just gotta leave people where they had you messed up at. And lastly, y'all, to wrap up the show, the guy from the district came downstairs and let Mel and Ava and Mr. Johnson know that so much work has to be done to Abbott that they're not going to be able to come back to the school for a long time. So they have to find a new school to accommodate everybody once they come back from winter break. And they're like, what? Like, we have been in the trenches before. Like, we don't need all this extra hoopla. Like, we'll be good. And he's like, no, you need to find a new building. And they were all looking at each other like, what? And then Mr. Johnson's like, I told you. A matter of fact, let me sing it for you. I told you. And I was like, he is petty, but he did. So instead of Ava sipping Mai Tais in the on the warm beach, homegirl was sent out by the district to go and search for a new building. And so we shall see what happens, but she was at a mall that was shut down. So she said, welcome everybody to the new Abbott Elementary. So we shall see what's going to happen. I was like, wow, what a way to end the winter episodes. What a way to end a winter break or start a winter break for the people of Abbott. And I am curious to see what's going to happen with this school being shut down and them being in a mall. Like, I feel like a mall is way too big, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. But that was the show, my little recap. So if I miss anything, let me know, because I feel like I be talking so fast and I possibly miss things. This show always has its quirks and funny moments. Let me know some of your funny moments of the episode from last night. Mine for sure, was when they thought that there was snow coming down and it was dust. I was like, gross, because Melissa was trying to eat it. And with Mr. Johnson's son being petty, that he told them so. As well as Janine stepping up for herself. Like, those are my favorite things. Like, she really was like, nah, you crossing boundaries, mama. You ain't going out to eat with me. And I was happy about that. So yeah, y'all, that's it. I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And I will see you guys when we return. Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year. I may or may not come back with like a holiday video. I don't know. I've never seen Jim Carrey Grinch, so I may like do something with that. I just watched the Grinch, the Dr. Seuss one, the cartoon, the other day. Like, that's crazy. I've never seen the movie Elf. So maybe I'll do something like I did last year with movies that I've seen over my winter break, which starts next week. So I will see you guys later because I'm just yapping. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I do. And I'll see y'all when we return. Bye.